Hello and welcome back to Optionsmith. So in this episode, the first thing I wanted to do is go over what I did for my trading today, just because I haven't talked about that for a while. And make no mistake, the primary piece of Optionsmith is not just creating the trading platform, but it is actually trading and scaling our trading plan as well. And that's the reason why we're able to make the trading platform only a $10 per month subscription instead of what normal platforms tend to charge, which is like $80 to $100 a month. So because of that, we're able to keep the Optionsmith subscription where it's at, and we have no plans for increasing that. But our goal with the platform is to create the best options trading platform and stock trading platform that we can, and hopefully it's the best one out there, but we are definitely motivated to continue to make that better and better. But also the trading is a big piece of our business, and so I was just going to review what I did this morning and give an example. So if you've been following my trading plan, what I do every morning is I go on to SPX, and this is the chart that we have now in Optionsmith. I look at the 5-minute. And so when the market first opens, I watch this 5-minute candle and I create an opening range around that candle. So I create a rectangle. This is the 5-minute opening range breakout. A lot of people are familiar with that. That is the core of my trading strategy. That's the first piece that I build my edge on. There's a lot of other aspects that increase the edge for this, but that's the first part. So I created this rectangle and I let the 5-minute candles form. And when I got to the point where I saw a 5-minute candle close above that range, that's when I said, okay, we are doing a bullish trade for the day. And that's it. I didn't worry about the global events. I see lots of people wondering whether or not they should trade based on what's going on. I do not want a trading plan where I have to go with a gut feel. Why? Because I don't want to wake up in the morning and wonder if I'm going to follow a certain trading plan or not. And I just can't bank on probabilities and math if I'm constantly worried about how I feel about the market or anything like that. So anyway, I see this as my indication that I'm going to put on a bullish trade. And honestly, I don't really care if this particular trade wins or loses. I just care that I'm following this plan. So I go to my visualizer for SPX and I put on a bullish put credit spread. Now in Optionsmith, this was incredibly easy to do. I've got it set up now where I just click on a strike. I go to quick template. I used 5 contracts today because that's what my scaling plan calls for based on how much profit we've made off of this strategy so far. So 5 for the quantity, and I select a vertical spread, but I want it to be a put vertical spread. So when I click that, it puts the short leg of this vertical spread right on the strike that I had clicked to go to that template. Generally, so I'm not going to see the credit limit that I go for at this time because it's very late in the day. But in the morning, I always go for a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. That's another part of my trading plan. It's built off of that 1-to-1, so all I need is the edge that puts me in the profitable area overall. So I do a 250, and I just look for a place to put this vertical spread so that I'm getting close to 250 on the mid price. So usually I'll put it where it's currently saying like 235 to 240, and then I'll put in a limit order for 250 and see see how long it takes to get filled. I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback in order to get that fill. But if I don't get that pullback and I don't get that fill within around 5 minutes, or maybe, that's where some skill comes in to just kind of see how it's looking. I can get aggressive. That's part of my plan. I can get aggressive, and I can I can move the spread so that I'm kind of chasing the market, or I'm moving it further into the money. So there's some finesse there. But I am willing, if the market just keeps going up and it doesn't give me a pullback for entry, I'm willing to chase it a little bit. That's part of my plan. Some traders will tell you not to chase the market in whatever scenario they're looking at, but this is part of my plan. It works in general because the market does have some momentum behind it in my mind if it's never pulling back. And so I can take advantage of that momentum and assume that that momentum is giving further edge in that direction. Again, not trading advice from me, just this is what I do. So here it is. I didn't get that pullback, so I ended up entering around here. And actually, I should be able to visualize what this trade looked like on the chart in Optionsmith. Even if a trade has been closed, I can go to chart in my closed page, and I can see exactly how this trade played out when I entered. So I entered about here. You can see we automatically put this profit and loss drawing on the chart showing when I entered the trade right here, this was the break-even line. So the break-even, we closed above the range here, but the break-even line ended up being up here because I had to sort of chase a little bit and get it so that I could get my one-to-one risk-reward. I got filled, and this ended up being the break-even point. Now I waited and I let the market do its thing. It was looking like it was just going to kind of stay in this range. I didn't know if it was going to break down or continue upwards. So when we got to here, I was actually able to get out for 80% of the max potential profit. And that's part of my plan also, where if I can get out at 80% and it doesn't look like there's a good structure at the time where, and this again is where I've got a little bit of discretion allowed in my plan. If I saw that it looked like there was a strong trend and it was likely to continue on, maybe I would have tried to squeeze a little bit more out and let it go. But at this point, it had already dipped down a couple times below moving averages. That stuff doesn't really affect me that much. But getting out for that 80% is fine in my plan because to me, it's not really worth it to try to squeeze out that extra 20% if the risk involved is I could lose all of that other 80% that I had achieved plus the full loss risk of the trade. So it's just a decision that I make here, and I got out at 80%, which is fine. I'm not trying to squeeze out every last drop and take on all that risk. It just, that's my mentality with it. So that's what I did. I got out of this trade at 80% profit. If it had been a bearish day in my plan where we had closed below the opening range, then I would have put on a bearish broken wing butterfly, and I've got similar rules around that. So if you're curious about some of the more specific rules that I have, you can go back and watch my other videos, but that's in general how I traded today. So, and this trading strategy has been doing remarkably well. I do not see any reason to abandon it in the future. I think this is probably going to be my primary day trading strategy from this point on. So it's got a 72% win rate after 40 some trades, 43 trades, and I do one trade every day. It's perfect for my trading psychology. I just look at the chart and see what it does right away in the morning, and then that's my decision, my main trade entry decision for the day. It's great. So anyway, that is how my trading strategy is going and what I did today. I wanted to also point out that at Optionsmith, we have been working on creating a mobile-friendly version of the platform. So if you have access to Optionsmith, you can go on your phone and use a browser, and we will automatically display a very mobile-friendly version of the platform. And I think that's just a very important step that we had to take for Optionsmith to make it just the best cutting-edge platform. We are sticking with browser-based, so even on the phone you'll want to use a browser. And you can, if you have an iPhone, you can use Safari and share or pin the URL, the site to your desktop on your phone, so that way it acts like an app. But we're sticking with the browser-based platform just because of the flexibility that we have. We can push features out that we think are important, and we don't have to worry about getting everybody to download a new version of an application or anything like that. We don't have to worry about supporting all sorts of different operating systems and whether or not something we want to do with the platform is going to break Android implementations or anything like that. So we are sticking with browser-based. And yes, there are a few drawbacks to that. We are not aiming to be a platform for super fast, high frequency or quick scalping on the 1 second ticks. That's not. This is a strategic trading platform for making trades that are based on strategies and good day trading or long-term trading or investing, but that's what this is intended for. So I was going to show a quick example of so this is kind of what the mobile desktop looks like, and we've got our charting in there. So if you are a subscriber to Optionsmith or you're in the trial, go ahead and use your browser on your phone and try it out. We are going to be continuously improving that as well. So there's always more to come in Optionsmith. So if you are not using Optionsmith and you want to try it out, just email us at support@optionsmith.com. That's support@optionsmith.com, and we will get you set up with a 14-day trial. You just have to send us an email. Thanks.